Hello everybody and welcome to my thoughts on the upcoming Project Messiah, and that of the prime asset Liliya Bogomolova. But before we get deeper into it, I'd like to just show the cinematic trailer for those that missed it, and for those who have already seen it, there'll be a timestamp in the description, so you can just jump right on ahead. So let's jump into my thoughts and theories for the upcoming Project Messiah.
Do you believe prayer can change the world? I hope so. Because somebody who's chosen belief despite evidence will believe anything. There's a sucker baptized every minute. Maybe there's something more to this world. Something eternal. Something divine. But only if you're open to it. If you're willing to listen. To be very quiet. Very still. You may find that being so fixated on your faith leaves you distracted, terribly vulnerable to something very real. Sister Liliya Bogomolova, an evangelist and priestess. A voice of peace, calling out for blood. An ascetic, dripping in hoarded treasure. She's a woman of God, a custodian of miracles, the product of a half-century of war and corruption, an avenging angel of divine retribution. She's waiting.
I am divine.
She's gonna make you believe.
I, like a few people, are a little shocked and surprised on how sudden Liliya has come out. Obviously, her design is very interesting. Her concept around religion is very interesting, but I think it was something that was already kind of planted. We knew about the acolytes and things. The weirdest thing about her, and I don't know if this will come up later, is they made this really huge thing about her tongue as a design choice. Like, it's very descriptive on how it's long, it's plated like a snake's underbelly. Very strange design. And yet her design is just that of a mannequin with claws. It feels like they completely wanted to change it. I'm very interested in the fact that she acts as a stealth killer and works around her copies and mannequins. It's a very interesting design, but there are some worries that I have about this. The first worry, and it's not super major, I'm sure a lot of people will kind of just forget about this, depending on how oppressive those mannequins are, is it excels the X-ray rig and the jammer. Because when you have the jammer out and you kind of hover it over stuff, the green light comes on. You know what you can corrupt. And so Liliya is hiding, I'm assuming, most of the time. I have not played this. I guess I should preface this. I have not played Season 5. I think a few people have, I think I saw. But with her ability of stealth, I'm assuming she stays still in one spot or moves around slightly, maybe to get closer and then stand still. But with her being so reliant on stealth, it's very clear that she is going to have a little bit of a problem when it comes to rigs that can kind of detect things easier than others. The X-ray one being the biggest one. logic says that if you have the X-ray rig and you're just constantly turning that on, you know exactly what's a mannequin and what's not a mannequin. So I could see a few people kind of being annoyed by this on how, you know, the stun rig, though useful, is kind of in that beginner slot, I feel like, where it's heavily used in the beginner phase. Everyone kind of moves on to the jammer because it has so much utility, it does so much other things, and then the X-ray just getting this added buff. But of course, that's all nothing compared to the fact that I see her providing more hindrance to our PvP section of our player base, because a reagent will be able to spot her with the X-ray, the jammer. They'll be able to outrun her. They'll be able to avoid way easier than a imposter will due to the stamina difference. But an imposter won't be able to tell the difference. So they're going to just be walking through these minefields of mannequins of Liliya and then just get jumped by her. I feel like the imposters are going to suffer the most from Liliya than anybody else. I know a few trivia facts that floated around for the teaser was that her name Bogomolova is just a lengthened version, because Ova is like the female ending in Russian names, but Bogomol, by the way, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing all of these horrifically, but Bogomol means praying mantis, which is why you see a lot of the praying mantis stuff in the trailer. Again, overall, I really like her design. Obviously, we'll see more on the coming future on the 9th, so of course, be excited for that. But I did kind of want to just talk about some thoughts and things. Of course, I don't think she's going to be a part of Invasion immediately, due to the fact that she doesn't have any MK challenges and they're not really utilizing full-fledged trials yet, so we don't really have to deal with her yet, but it is kind of that lingering in the back of my mind of what are going to be the strategies around her as an imposter, and is that going to be one of the many changes that they make, is that imposters don't have to worry about prime assets as badly, because I do feel like she'll be the bigger problem for an imposter than a reagent. She's going to rack up more kills than the reagents will, or the imposters combined. I know a few people were probably also a little disappointed that she is, in fact, supporting that religious iconography, though again, I feel like that was it was practically thrown in our face with the original document of the acolytes. But a lot of people were kind of thinking that, well, maybe she'll be the sister, which, to be fair, she could very well still represent the sister, just due to the fact that generally when a religious congregation, especially like, what is it, like Christianity, Catholic, I think, even, when they talk to each other, it's like brother, sister, father, mother, you know, it's a very familial, you know, naming convention. So technically, Liliya could still very well be representing the sister of the nuclear family. Though ironically, she represents more of the praying mantis, which could also represent a more primal. She's kind of this weird blend, which I don't think she's representing the family pet. I think she represents more or less either the priest or the sister. Maybe a fun combination of the two. Overall, though, I'd be curious on what you think of Liliya. Obviously, she comes out just around the corner, and this is just a short little kind of talking heads, you know, talking situation. I just kind of wanted to talk about her design and my thoughts for the future for her, and like what it could bring to the Outlast. You know, again, Invasion is a huge thing to think about. It's one of the biggest controversies that I feel like Outlast Trials is having at the moment, and that's the fact that the balance is a little off, and so bringing in this character who could potentially offset the balance even more so, it is that lingering negative thought in the back of my mind. But again, maybe I'm overthinking it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like the video, share it around, hype the video, things like that. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. I can't thank you guys enough for doing it, and hopefully see you all in the next video. See you then.